think it's going to generate a lot of buzz, a lot of interest. I think a lot of people from other cities, states.
Bobby Humphrey was more than just an NFL player. He became an exemplary coach respected for his dedication. However, his journey was marred by troubling incidents, including an infamous shooting incident, cocaine possession, and allegations of aggravated assault. He also faced chaos when he destroyed hotel property in Columbus. In February 1993, Bobby Humphrey found himself in a frightening situation when he was shot in the right thigh by his friend and former teammate, Mark Petties, on an Alabama highway. The two were driving northbound on Interstate 65 in Humphrey's vehicle after a trip to New Orleans when a fight broke out between them. The exact reason for the dispute was never clear, but it escalated quickly. A passing motorist noticed the two men fighting on the shoulder of the highway in Alabaster, Alabama, and immediately called local police for help. When the officers arrived at the scene, they found a 26-year-old Humphrey lying on the ground, injured. He was promptly taken to Shelby Medical Center, where doctors treated his wound. Thankfully, he was released just a few hours later after the bullet was successfully removed. Just 8 days before this shocking shooting incident, Humphrey had already found himself in trouble with the law. He was arrested for cocaine possession, aggravated assault, and destruction of hotel property in Columbus, Georgia. His college playing days hinted how great of a player he would become, and he truly did not disappoint in that aspect. Humphrey had an impressive college football career, playing for the Crimson Tide from 1985 to 1988. During his freshman year, he shared the backfield with teammates Gene Jelks and Kerry Good, making a solid impact by rushing for 502 yards on 99 carries and scoring 4 touchdowns. His sophomore year was even more remarkable as he led the Crimson Tide in rushing with an impressive 1,471 yards and 15 touchdowns. The season concluded on Christmas Day with a game in the Sun Bowl against the Washington Huskies, where Humphrey shone brightly, scoring 3 touchdowns. This performance helped Alabama finish with a strong 10-3 record, and he earned a spot on an All-American team for his efforts. In 1987, Bobby continued to be the featured back for Alabama, rushing for 155 yards on 238 carries and scoring 11 touchdowns. One of the highlights of that junior year was a stunning 220-yard rushing performance against Penn State. On Halloween night, in a game against Mississippi State, he made history by surpassing Johnny Musso as Alabama's all-time leading rusher. The season ended with a trip to the Hall of Fame Bowl, where he scored 2 touchdowns, although the team came up short in the game. For his outstanding performance, he was once again named to an All-American team and finished 10th in the Heisman Trophy voting. Unfortunately, Humphrey faced injuries during his senior season. He started strong, scoring a touchdown in the opening game against Temple, but just 2 weeks later, he broke his foot again, which ultimately ended his college career. By the time he finished, he had amassed a remarkable 3,120 rushing yards and 33 touchdowns. At that point, he held school records for the most 200-yard rushing games, with 4, and the most 100-yard rushing games, with 16 achievements that showcased his incredible talent on the field. In total, during his 4 seasons with the Crimson Tide, Bobby rushed for 3,120 yards, caught 60 passes for 523 yards, and scored an impressive 40 touchdowns. He earned recognition on the College Football All-America team in 1986 and 1987, and in 1986 he set a school record with his 1,471 rushing yards. The following year, he was voted UPI's Offensive Player of the Year, solidifying his status as one of Alabama's greatest running backs. With his skills, he became the first Denver Bronco to rush for 1,000 yards in back-to-back seasons. Humphrey made a significant leap from college football to the NFL when he was selected in the first round of the 1989 NFL Supplemental Draft by the Denver Broncos, one of only 5 players chosen that year. He made an impressive impact in his rookie season, rushing for 151 yards and scoring 7 touchdowns. Not only did he excel as a running back, but he also showcased his versatility by throwing a 17-yard touchdown pass and catching a touchdown reception. His strong performance helped the Broncos reach Super Bowl XXIV, although they faced a tough defeat, losing 55-10 to the San Francisco 49ers. Despite the loss, Humphrey stood out in the game, leading the Broncos in both rushing with 61 yards and receiving with 31 yards. However, he had a critical turnover early in the game when he fumbled near midfield. This mistake allowed the 49ers to score 34 unanswered points, which ultimately sealed the game for them. In 1990, Humphrey followed up his rookie season with another strong year, earning a Pro Bowl selection. He rushed for 1,202 yards and scored 7 touchdowns, becoming the first player in Broncos history to rush for over 1,000 yards in back-to-back seasons. This accomplishment highlighted his talent and importance to the team's offense. However, the following year brought challenges for Humphrey. In 1991, he held out of training camp, hoping to negotiate a new contract. Unfortunately, the Broncos stuck to their team policy of not renegotiating player contracts, which led to a prolonged holdout that extended well into the season. By the time he ended his holdout in Week 14, Gaston Green, a newly signed running back, had taken the starting position and was on his way to achieving his own 1,000-yard season. The coaching staff had also grown frustrated with Humphrey's absence, causing him to fall out of favor. When he returned, he was out of shape and had to settle for a backup role in the offense. As the Broncos made a playoff run, reaching the AFC Championship Game, Humphrey found himself on the sidelines, watching as the team lost a close game to the Buffalo Bills 10-7. After that season, the Broncos decided to trade Humphrey to the Miami Dolphins in exchange for running back Sammy Smith. In Miami, his performance took a hit. He managed to score only 1 rushing touchdown and rushed for 471 yards while also accumulating 507 receiving yards and a touchdown reception. Despite his struggles, he once again found himself in the AFC Championship Game, but unfortunately, he experienced another defeat against the Buffalo Bills. After a couple of years away from the game, Humphrey attempted to make a comeback in 1995 with the Buffalo Bills, but he was unable to secure a spot on the team. His journey from college star to NFL player was marked by both impressive achievements and significant challenges, showcasing the ups and downs that often come with a professional sports career. In August 1999, a new team called the Birmingham Steel Dogs was established as part of the AF2, a developmental league designed to nurture talent for the Arena Football League. Humphrey, despite having no prior coaching experience at this level, was named the head coach of the Steel Dogs. This was an exciting opportunity for him to transition from being a player to a coach, and he embraced the challenge. Over the next 6 seasons, Humphrey worked hard to build the team and develop its players, leading the Steel Dogs to a respectable overall record of 51 wins and 50 losses. However, coaching is never an easy task, and not every season goes as planned. Unfortunately, the 2005 season was particularly tough for the Steel Dogs, as they struggled and ended up with a disappointing 2-14 record. Following this rough season, the team made the difficult decision to part ways with Humphrey, marking the end of his tenure as head coach. After Humphrey's departure, the Steel Dogs rebranded themselves as the Alabama Steel Dogs the following year. Despite the change, the team faced its own challenges and ultimately ceased operations after the 2007 season. The AF2 League itself would fold in 2009, marking the end of an era for indoor football. At the time of his dismissal, Humphrey had earned recognition as the second winningest coach in the league, showcasing his ability to lead and inspire players even amidst the challenges he faced. That is it for this one, but if you happen to like NFL legends, make sure to check out our latest videos on our channel NFL Icons. I'm sure you will love it.